For more on Turkey's political developments, I'm joined by Cenk Sidar, President and CEO of Sidar Global Advisors. So, Cenk, the outcome of this election is not really a big surprise, is it?
It's not a big surprise. I think the public opinion was expecting a victory by Erdogan. I think the key thing was if that will be in the first round or on the second round. But looking at the first round results and the first round victory, we can still say that is a short-term victory for Erdogan, 51.8%. But the expectation from Erdogan and his party was a bit higher.
Why do you think Erdogan still has so much support in Turkey?
When we look at the basis of the Turkish democracy, we see that since especially 2012, we see increasing authoritarian trends and some censorship on media, and rule of law and separation of power has been significantly under threat by the prime minister and his party. But the Turkish economy has been still doing okay. We look at the macro imbalances of the Turkish economy, and there are some unsustainability issues, but the effects have not been felt by the people on the street yet. So the Turkish economy, I think, is still the number one reason that the Erdogan has been keeping his powerful role within the Turkish politics.
So, Cenk, some say the win really seals his position as Turkey's most powerful ruler since Mustafa Kemal Atatürk in the 1930s. Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't agree with that, because what happens now is Erdogan will try to transform the presidential role into more US-style executive presidential position, because currently is a figurehead position, a ceremonial position. And he will do everything to transform that into a new model he envisions. But if you look at the current the votes that he received, 51.8%, that aspiration seems a little bit difficult to accomplish. He would, if we make a simulation looking at the presidential votes and the general election, if we transform those votes rates to the potentially to general elections, it seems like he won't be able to get enough seats at the parliament to change the constitution. So having or being elected to the presidential position may create more significant challenges for him from his own party, and he may feel a bit stuck in the presidential role because he's very hands-on, a micromanager type of leader into politics. So he may be a little bit difficult to handle with the presidential responsibilities.
Do you think Erdogan is a unifying figure for Turkey, or is he a polarizing figure?
It is definitely a polarizing figure since 2012, especially. When we look at it, he plays his game on polarizing and consolidating his voter base. Is a successful technical step if you look at the results yesterday, but on the longer term, it becomes more difficult for him to manage and lead the country. It creates long-term negative repercussions for the Turkish democracy and Turkish national unity. Today, 51% votes is a significant victory for Erdogan, but we should also remember 49% did not vote for Erdogan.
Voted against him, yeah. Exactly. And how key do you think were the conservative Muslims in his re-election victory?
Conservative Muslims, I think, is at this point, conservative Muslims may be a little bit, they of course played an important role, and that's their base. But I don't think at this point such a demographic group is a good idea to talk about, because when we look at it, another presidential candidate was also very conservative, but also a religious person. He was just Democrat, and he respected the universal principle of democracy. So I don't think being a conservative and Muslim makes you automatically Democrat or authoritarian. But this election was more about agreeing with the authoritarian tendencies of the prime minister and moving him to the presidential level or not. In this election, we saw 51% victory, but also the opposite side, not voting for Erdogan, says us something as well about the future of Turkish democracy.
All right. Thank you so much, Cenk Sidar. We appreciate your perspective, sir.
Thank you.